The contemporary collection is really dominated by figures in the arts, but in terms of scientists and other fields of achievement, we were lacking. And so the commissioning process allowed us to sort of redress the balance, if you like. Like all sitters, Sir Andrew came to the gallery and met with the director and myself, and we discussed possible artists for his commission. Rupert Alexander, who's been a regular exhibitor in our portrait award and who trained at the Cecil School in Florence in a very traditional way, seemed a perfect answer to Sir Andrew's requirements.
Well, it's a great honour to be asked by the National Portrait Gallery to contribute a painting to the permanent collection. But beyond that, I was thrilled to be asked to paint Andrew Wiles, firstly because of the enormity of his achievements in his field, but also because he's simply got a very paintable face. He's got a very aesthetic face, very fine features and strong bone structure. He's a very humble man, softly spoken, brilliant, of course, and entirely devoted to his work, which is something I greatly admire. And it was really that I wanted to convey in the painting, the idea that he inhabits an entirely cerebral world. But rather than do it by, I don't know, scattering books around the composition or, God forbid, putting a blackboard with equations behind him, I decided to try and convey it simply through the light and atmosphere. For me, it's key to paint under natural light because natural light has the entire spectrum of colours in it, whereas electric light has only its own colour cast. And so I did that by putting blue-green gels, filters, on the skylight of my studio. I had the blue-green light cast onto him, but then not onto my painting, so I had natural coloured light on my painting. The main challenge was understanding how far I could push the blue-green light before deadening the skin tones. And so I looked into a certain amount of colour theory to try and figure out how far I could go with the green-blue light before killing him stone dead. When I paint a larger composition, I tend to work on a larger canvas than I'm going to need to avoid the possibility of running out of space if I decide to extend the composition. So once I've painted the painting, I'll have to get a smaller frame that's the size of the painting that I'm ending up with and re-stretch it onto that, just to avoid the headache of having to start again or stitch on another piece of canvas to the side.
I think Rupert's portrait of Sir Andrew Wiles rather took us by surprise, actually, because he'd chosen a completely different palette to the palette he would normally work with. It's an unusual portrait in that, on the one hand, it appears quite traditional, but the quality of light and the drama in the painting feels very contemporary.
No, it's great to finally see the painting on the wall because it's been quite a protracted process from the initial meeting with Sir Andrew through the sittings and discussions with the curators and the director to finally see it on the wall the day of the unveiling, and my family and the public and Sir Andrew himself will now finally see the painting. It's a very exciting moment.